In December 2019, a new respiratory illness known as COVID-19, caused by a novel coronavirus, was first detected in the central Chinese city of Wuhan. Within the first 5 weeks of the outbreak, tens of thousands of people were infected and more than 1,000 died. The outbreak has been categorized as a public health emergency by the World Health Organization. Not surprisingly, the virus is having economic impacts throughout the world. Major companies like Apple, Starbucks, and McDonald's closed stores in China, and airlines around the world have canceled flights to and from the region. On January 31st, 2020, the Dow dropped more than 2% during the day on coronavirus fears, wiping out all the gains for the month of January. However, the U.S. stock market seemed to quickly recover, hitting new all-time highs on February 12th, even as the virus continued to spread. It's not clear how much the virus will impact U.S. investors, but the effects could go deeper than just retail and travel, hitting sectors and industries you might not expect, like energy, automotive, and banking. Taking a look at these potential impacts can help you prepare your portfolio for possible market turbulence.
What will the impact on the jobs market be for those graduating in 2020?
That's a really good question that we've been thinking about a lot at The Economist, and we did a cover a few weeks ago which we called the 90% economy. And the argument of that cover is that when the economy recovered, we wouldn't be going back to the old economy. It will be a new economy where many areas of the economy won't go back to the level of output that they had before. That's why we called it the 90% economy. The other reason it's going to be hard right now is that the unemployment rate is high. The unemployment rate has surged, and even if it's come down in the United States a little bit, it's still remarkably high. So just finding a job is much harder. The trick for public policy is going to be to make sure that the scarring from that, the shadows of that, don't last. And what that means is when the unemployment rate goes up, it has long-term consequences. And as a result, it means that people find it harder to get skills. It's harder to sort of make a real go of the labour market.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day I wish to all of you. Welcome to NBH 5B Virtual Talent Talk Battle Group 7. My name is Nur Nabila binti Omar Sharif, Administration Assistant from the Department of Irrigation and Drainage. I am the moderator for today, and it is a great pleasure to welcome all of you in this virtual talk. As we all know, pandemic COVID-19 is a current big issue which enable you to think about the topic that we have highlighted, and we are trying to solve the issue together by sharing beneficial and interesting ideas which will be discussed by our panel. Today, we would like to highlight a topic that is quite interesting to be discussed on pros and cons of online interview. I am sure that every one of us has our opinion and thoughts on this topic. Before we proceed to our forum, I would like to introduce our panelists today. Our first panelist is Ms. Nurul Aina, Admin Assistant of the Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, SSM. How are you today, Ms. Aina?
I'm good and glad to be here this morning.
Next to her is our special panel too, Ms. Zulaika, Account Executive of Posh and Core Property Management. Also, we have Ms. Amy Nadira, Administrative Assistant, Fuse Dream Furniture Industry, Senia Berhad. And last one is Ms. Shatira, Admin Executive All Al Isra Associate, Senia Berhad. Before we start our forum in detail, let me explain about our topic today. Virtual recruitment describes the hiring process that takes place virtually without meeting the candidates face-to-face. In this modern way of hiring, recruiters and line managers utilize online recruitment portals, social media platforms, and conferencing technology to find and interview candidates. Social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram have become mainstream for screening candidates, understanding their market presence beyond the CV profile, immediate access to recommendations, and instant communication without intermediaries. For further details about this topic, I would like to seek an information from the first panel next to me, Miss Aina. As a human resource staff that have been working for 5 years, what do you think about recruitment without meeting the candidates face to face?
Thank you, Miss Nabila. Assalamualaikum and good morning. I bid to all of you. Virtual recruitment is also known as online recruitment, refers to the use of web-based technology for the various processes of attracting, assessing, selecting, recruiting, and onboarding job candidates. Through virtual recruitment, employees reach a large number of potential employees. I think that one of the advantages of virtual selection is can reduce stress for candidates. When the talking or touching about on the question of wanting to attend an interview, it is definitely something that makes us restless or fearful because we as interview candidate feel worried if we cannot find the location of the interview. Stuck in traffic jam is also the cause of not finding a parking space because surely the new place become a foreign place for the first time to track it down. In addition, when the two parties do not face each other face to face, candidate and the interviewer also automatically become comfortable because indirectly both parties try to make the situation more relaxed and do not pressure either party. Indirectly, both parties and make a calm eye contact. The interview panel are more organized in making review or wanting to write mark to the candidate. The next benefit of virtual recruitment, it is modern. Companies have been conducting job interview for many decades and it typically includes a traditional in-person meeting. Modern technology has equipped company with a long list of virtual communication tools to choose from for people to stay connected. Since in-person interviews are not an option right now, many companies are turning to virtual recruiting solutions to facilitate their recruiting program. If the budget allows, aim to use a best-in-class video conferencing solution like Zoom or Google Meet because the recruitment process is typically the first exposure candidate get with the company. If your company uses an outdated technology that is difficult to use, it could send a negative message to candidate on how the company makes investment on tools and resources. Thank you.
We have listened to an amazing experience about virtual recruitment and selection. Next, we move to Miss Amy Najira. As an employee, how far do you agree with virtual recruitment and selection?
Thank you, Miss Nabila. In my opinion, virtual helps to reduce paperwork. Once an applicant has applied, virtual job fair reports list which candidates apply for each open position and their status. It also records who, if anyone, from the company interact with the candidate via chat or email and which employee exchange virtual business cards with which applicants. Exhibitors have real-time access to the recruiting information without text and step of applications, resume, and other documentation cluttering your desk. Screen and set up interview with your best prospect without littering your desktop. Other than that, virtual recruitment shows potential candidates that your organization is progressive and innovative, potentially making you a more attractive employment option over competitors. The majority of job seekers today are comfortable with interacting online and are likely to expect that at least some of your recruitment process would be online too. Hire the right candidate, saving your time and money. Virtual recruitment also enable employers to focus on recruiting the best possible person to employ. You can streamline your recruitment process to help you connect more easily with candidates to understand their strengths and skills.
Thank you, Miss Amy. That was a great point to be said. There are many benefits that we can gain when having virtual recruitment, but as we all know, every good thing must have a bad thing on it. What can you say about the negative impact of virtual recruitment and selection, Miss Shatira?
Thank you, Ms. Nabila. The downside of virtual recruitment, in my opinion, is too impersonal because much of online recruiting process may involve email and possibly telephone interview. It can be viewed as somewhat impersonal. Without the opportunity for the employer to hold multiple in-person interview, it can be difficult to determine if the candidate will be a good fit for the company and its culture. The candidate may also have a hard time gauging whether the company is the right place for her. Moreover, response time limitation, which they will be interviewed, but in case there are any delay in the system or technical difficulties, their time slot won't be extended. Also, in a very candidate interview via virtual is usually given a limited amount of time and a time slot during case the login procedure is too complicated. The candidate may lose precious time. That way, multiple options require quick thinking and there is not a lot of room for mistake, which can make the whole process very stressful. Thank you.
From my point of view, when we are doing the virtual interview, we cannot analyze their character. The basic character of the candidate, whether they are able to do the job or not, is the best to analyze by face-to-face. When using virtual, certain candidates cannot be detected by us if they lie about their character. Hence, they are interviewing by virtual. We just can analyze the character based on the screen. So, it is a really high risk for us to choose. Sometimes, it is much better for the candidate to take part to come to the office for the second interview just for the character analysis. We also can know their body languages, whether they are suitable to the job or not. Furthermore, I also heard that when taking the SPA exam online, there is certain candidate who make a WhatsApp group for discussing the answer for the exam. Can I know where the integrity of is for a candidate while wanting to answer an exam question? Is that by lying? In the future, how can they build a strong character if they are accepted in the organization? Thus, the virtual exam before the interview also cannot be 100% trust. But luckily, for gaining a place at the government, the candidate has various exams to face before getting the position. But still, this issue shall be considered as lack of integrity and the candidate is not confident with himself or for answering the questions.
I think that with the use of virtual interviews, the internet isn't always reliable. Sometimes you have extremely poor quality connection or your webcam stops working and there is nothing you can do about it. Other time, the communication platform you are using goes down right when you need it the most. The internet can be volatile and it is impossible to guarantee that it will stream your online interview properly. In addition, there can often be delay while speaking which can upset the natural rhythms of a conversation. To sum up, it should be said that there are many pros and cons to online interview, but it all depends on the employer's need. An online interview is a part of the recruitment process that need to be thought over in advance and organized properly. This way, you can see for yourself whether it's worth using online interview. It is undeniable that great opportunities are available when implementing online interview into your recruitment process, but you must consider all the pros and cons before deciding. Thank you for listening.